Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Talk to the Animals pet session. My name is Wynne-Jones, and I'm here with the lovely Veronica and also Mafanya.
Yay!
Hey. So these are some short sessions that I'm doing, and it's to introduce the body of work, Talk to the Animals. And one of the things that we do is we basically talk to people and their animals, and we see what communication is available and what we can learn from both the person and the animal to create something greater for everyone involved. So you're here to come along for the ride and join in on our pet session. So, Veronica, what would you like to get out of the session today?
I would like to know what happens with Mafanya's body because he has some problems with his anal sinuses. They like have some secrets, some liquid that should be moved without any problems, but maybe because of his age or something else or food, something changed and this anal glands blocked. So
Yeah,
I should push on his anus sometimes, like twice or once a month. It's not so very pleasant for me and especially for him.
yeah,
But if I wouldn't do it, they will blocked and there will be some problems like abscess and something else.
right. Okay. So, when did this first start happening?
It first happened when I come into some trip, and I suppose he was nervous about the fact that he will be alone and so on.
Okay. So Okay, so let's what one thing that we can do is let's go back to the point of creation of whatever this is, and let's just ask to undo any of the decisions, judgments, conclusions, computations, projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections that may have anything to do with creating what's showing up with Mafanya today. Okay, so
Yeah,
everything that is, will you guys destroy and uncreate it all?
yes,
Right and
please.
wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what that is the access consciousness clearing statement. Basically, it's designed to bring up an energy and then clear it so that you have a different choice available. Okay. So if you want to know more about it, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and find some information about it there. Cool. Okay, so truth, is there something else required for Mafanya? Like, does Mafanya require to eat something differently? Is there something Mafanya requires from you in order to, like feel safe and comfortable? It's like, what are you aware of that's required? And let's,
I would change his diet because he also has some allergy. I discovered it when we went to the
yeah,
veterinary clinic, and he would like to eat, for example, a lot of fish, but it's not so healthy for cat usually. Eat a lot of fish for their internal organs, but he also would like maybe more attention. I
okay.
sometimes do some body processes for him if he allows to do it for him.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, like, it's really interesting because when we were talking and you were first talking, and one of the things that you said is, maybe we could change his diet. And when you said that, he jumped off your lap. And I noticed as well when you started, like talking about it again, he's come back and he's sitting on your lap again. So, like, I also just want to acknowledge the way that animals communicate is often very different, but they'll usually have some way of showing you when you're sort of on the right track with the questions that you're asking, or the information that's presenting itself. So yeah, one thing I would say is with the diet, it's like, what if you could find something that worked for him, but also worked for you and works for his body? So maybe he can have fish sometimes, but he might need some other things other times. And like also be willing to ask the animal what works for their body, because I have two dogs, and we only found out probably, I don't know, 5 years ago that one of them is allergic to like red meat proteins. Okay, and we've had her for 10 years, and she had skin issues and all of this stuff, and we were trying everything, but we didn't totally eliminate red meat from her diet, so we never got the feedback from that. So sometimes it's a little bit of experimenting as well, and trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
uh cool. So what else can we contribute to Mafanya, and what else would you like to ask about or get from this session?
Maybe that he wouldn't worry when I go to some trips when I'm traveling. He is alone.
Yeah. So does he have someone that stays with him or comes to feed him, or what's that situation?
Usually comes to feed him or my friends. It's like once a day or from 2 days. Not so
Yeah.
often.
Yeah. So this is one thing that comes up a lot, like especially we're doing sessions with people who are usually facilitators or practitioners of access consciousness, and so that's a big thing, is like, okay, I'm going away, and my pet is missing me, and it's creating different things. So one thing that I would suggest is, when you do leave, what you can do is you can actually leave your energy with them, so that
Mhm.
your presence is still there with them, even though you might be halfway across the world, doing an access class, or you might be, you know, on the other side of Russia doing a class, or just traveling, or whatever it is that you do. So you can do that, and then every day when you are aware that Mafanya is sort of like thinking about you or missing you, you can just flow energy to Mafanya and fill Mafanya up, so that there's not that gap and that void there for Mafanya. And another thing that I would also suggest is, when you go away, being really clear with Mafanya, hey, I'm going to be away for a few days, but I'm coming back. And one nice thing you can also do when you come back from a trip away is to have like a treat or something that you give them, so that they actually look forward to when you go away, because they know when you come back you're going to have a treat.
Yeah.
So I wonder as well, it's like, uh let's also look at what Mafanya might be contributing to you also being able to travel and be away, because it might also be a contribution for Mafanya. And, like, what if we could look at this from the possibility that was available to you both? Like, what would be the best possible circumstance for Mafanya while you were away? Is there something greater that's available?
I thought to bring him to another home where there is already another cat, but um, he not so friendly to another cat.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better for him to stay alone.
Well, so what do you get when you ask Mafanya? Like, so truth, Mafanya, would you like to go to stay with someone else who has another pet? Or would you like to stay at home by yourself? Or would you like to create something else? Which one's the lightest one for you? What do you get, Veronica?
Uh,
What has a sense of
third,
lightness?
third parent, create something else.
Something else. Yeah, I got that too. So I wonder if there's somewhere Mafanya could go, or someone who could come and stay at your place that doesn't also have a cat, that, could give Mafanya the attention that he desires, and be able to, uh, for it to work for you both. So,
Mhm.
and sometimes things like this will pop up, and it's like we haven't considered them, and it seems very kind of like obvious and everything, but often it's like things that we just haven't considered, that can be quite like a quite a possibility, And so sometimes you just want to ask for, okay, so what else is possible here that I haven't considered? Okay, because then you'll start to receive information about the different possibilities that are available. Is there anything else that you would like to look at with Mafanya or yourself?
He just staring at me, look at me, and like asking something.
Yeah, right. So cool. So, like lower your walls and barriers and just be present with him. And what is it that he's communicating? And you don't have to have words for it as well. Like animals communicate a lot energetically. And so sometimes it doesn't have words, but there's a lot of energy there.
It's like about gratitude and recognition that he is a great contributor to all my projects, to all my classes, to
Yeah.
all creations that I usually do. I sometimes recognize it, but sometimes I forget about the fact that he is a contribution. Like right now, he's looking at me very strictly. Why
Ah,
forget all the contributions? You bad girl.
come on, ladies, some acknowledgement would be good. So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And so let's also acknowledge if he can create and contribute to that, what can he create and contribute to creating a situation that works for the both of you when you go away?
Yeah.
So, everything that doesn't allow that for both of you, will you guys destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Awesome. I like it. Is there anything else?
He just said that he would like more tasty food because maybe this food for hypoallergic food is not so tasty, maybe not tasty at all for him. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, so he would like a little bit more variety and something that maybe
yeah,
tastes a little bit better. Yeah, and animals will often, have that point of view. Like it's so funny with my dogs. It's like they have breakfast in the morning and then they don't have anything else the whole day until the next morning. So, we'll have breakfast and then lunch and then dinner and they look at us and they're like, "What? How come you're eating again? How come we don't get to eat?" So, just acknowledge that, they also would like to have different things. A lot like, in the wild, animals would also be eating different things all the time. So variety is something that they definitely desire, and it is a contribution. And some animals will live their whole life eating the same thing because that's just what their owners give them, and that's a choice as well. But I actually also get that like you know there's a lot of things I guess that we've been talking about where it seems a little bit like where you might also have this point of view, oh, I'm bad for not doing this, or I could be doing this better, or but I also get that there's a real energy of gratitude actually from Mafanya towards you, of like the kindness that you be, and so I just wanted you to acknowledge that too, because this is not about, what you're not doing right with your pets. It's like this is about establishing a communication for the both of you so that it's easier to know what's going on and how things can be greater.
thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So, I mean,
Oh, it's
is
like
there
a lot of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that also shows up a lot with these sessions because animals have been desiring to, communicate with us, and we all do to a certain extent. But when you really open the doors, it's like there's a lot more that becomes available. And so, if you start to communicate with your pet and you get these kind of energetic exchanges, they can be quite intense sometimes, and that's really you opening up and also them opening up to establishing this communication that is possible and available. So, embrace it. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just it's working. And what else is possible? Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Veronica, and thank you, Mafanya. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, this has been another Talk to the Animals, Talking to Pet sessions. And we'll be doing another one, same place, same time next week. Um, Thank you so much, Veronica.
Thank you so much. It was such a gift.
Thanks, everyone who's watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.